Guess what, guys? Welcome to another installment of Musical Notes. Today I'm discussing Happiness Begins by the Jonas Brothers. Hey guys, so we need to discuss this. And also notice that I'm wearing this because it is accurate. The Jonas Brothers have saved 2019. They saved it by returning to music after 10 years. They saved it by putting out this album. And they saved it by all getting married and becoming grown up. In a way.
I'm feeling so cool, top to the bottom, just cool. Every little thing that I do.
The first one that I want to mention is Cool, because Sucker was the first single, and it was their first single to stay at the top at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for a certain amount of weeks. They exceeded records with their comeback. And that's not showing you that they were made to come back, then I don't know what does. But anyway, Cool is their second single from this album. And it's so catchy. Like, you will catch yourself singing it. I'm feeling so cool. Top to the bottom, just cool. And then there's references that they put in there purposely, because they always did that in their songwriting. He had a reference to them in Better Now, where he says, "You'd think we were brothers like we were Jonas." And so they say, "I'm feeling like Post Malone when I get home, sitting there waiting for Game of Thrones." And then they go, "And how complicated was last year?" And that's a reference to Nick's album, Last Year Was Complicated. Okay. So Cool is like super cool. Like, it's honestly like a jam. My favorite song on Happiness Begins. Instantly, when I first heard it, like, I legitimately never heard it before, and then it came on and I was like, this is gonna be the jam of 2019, and I guarantee they're gonna make it a single for this album because it's so freaking good. Like, the musicality alone it's 80s musicality, it's dancey, and it instantly reminded me of a throwback band, Rooney. I don't know if anyone used to listen to Rooney, but I listened to Rooney, and so when I heard this song, it gave me nostalgia for when I used to listen to Rooney when I was in high school. But there's that melody in it, and it goes do 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 do, like that. And it literally either sounds like steel drums or an xylophone or a mix of both. I'm not sure if they mixed that or they actually used those instruments, but it sounds so cool. And like, it gets, that part literally gets stuck in your head. And then like, the lyrics are also very simple and easy to sing along to. And the song is called Only Human. And it's my favorite song on Happiness Begins because it's just a jam. And once you hear it, good luck getting it out of your head. The next song I want to mention is Hesitate, and this song was written by Joe. Only Joe is listed as one of the songwriters on it, and he wrote it for his now wife Sophie. It has the acoustic feel of DNCE's Almost, But obviously it's about something totally different. It's just about how in love with somebody, not just that you love somebody, but that when you're in love with them and you love them, you take everything they are as your own, and it become like you become one. And that's kind of what it is about. And it's totally different, a different subject than DNC's almost. But it has the same acoustic feel, like musically.
Mr. Misdemeanor, got me up to say you need my love.
The next song I want to mention is Every Single Time. And that has an electronic musicality, and it instantly reminded me of groups like Gautier or Magic because of the musicality and literally the bass that it starts out with. And then all you hear is Mr. Misdemeanor and in the beginning of the song. And it's just also super catchy. It has a bluesy jazz feel, and for me it's a reminder of artists like Johnny Lang, who's one of my favorite jazzy blues singers. And the Jonas Brothers actually were the first popular artists to ever mention him as an artist in an interview, and that's when I started to feel like Johnny Lang was making it musically. And since then he's won Grammys, and he's really transitioned as an artist from when he first started, but he's still always kept the same signature sound, songwriting style, and overall bluesy feel to his songwriting and his voice. But this has been my musical notes for Happiness Begins, and I just have to say one more thing.
When I look at old stuff, looking like it's over, looking like I'm never gonna be.
This is me saying a personal thank you to the Jonas Brothers for coming back, for helping me through some of the toughest times in my life. In high school, I was not at all socially accepted. I did have friends, but I was definitely ridiculed and bullied, in a sense. And I would listen to Underdog on repeat because it gave me motivation to keep going. And then I became a teenage author, and basically the rest is history. I'm not going to go into my personal story, but I just want to say thank you to Kevin Jonas, Joe Jonas, and Nick Jonas for who you are as musicians, for who you are as people, and I always will support you. I didn't want to cry, but I will support you forever, and I love you guys, and thank you for coming back.
That again, crying over all loves, even though they're over, never go.
And it's like natural to them. So they reference Post Malone because he